Hello, good evening, good evening, good evening. Today's Sunday 6 p.m. And we are going to be talking about relationships in marriage and who you should take advice from or not take advice from. So I'm expecting that it's going to be an interactive session and that everyone who has an opinion on this matter can jump on board so we can have a conversation about it. And if you're joining me right now or jumping on the broadcast, just introduce yourself. Say, hey, my name is Shay, I'm watching from Boston. Hey, my name is Tony, I'm watching from wherever you're watching from. And I would like to get to know you better. And I want you to speak up. I want you to definitely talk about this issue. This is an issue that it's been going on for a while, and a lot of people are starting to complain about it. They're starting to complain about who or who should not give marital advice. So I saw a broadcast today, not a broadcast, I saw a Facebook post today, and it was talking about how single people should not be given marital advice to anyone in particular. So I thought I'd talk about it and just squash the issue so that we know who or who not to take advice from. Hi everyone, thanks for joining. Say hi wherever you're watching from. My name is Shied. I am live here in Boston, Massachusetts, and I am doing this broadcast because I believe it's time to just nip some things in the bud and talk about this marital issue that is plaguing our society. And it's about divorce, it's about single moms, it's about single dads, it's about parenting. This conversation may not just be a one-time conversation, it may be a conversation that will go on throughout the year, maybe, but let's see how we can talk about this marital problem. Divorce is rampant, yes. Divorce is real, yes. So is depression, so is the single life. How many single people are listening to me right now? So are so many issues that are plaguing the African American society. But today we're talking about who can you take marital advice from. So if you're interested in this topic, you want to know more, you want to contribute to this topic, please share the broadcast, please comment, please do post your opinion, your thoughts, your suggestions on this particular video, or you can watch it later if you're watching later and just basically leave your comments. So we're talking about who should you take marital advice from. Can you all hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Tell me if you can hear me okay. If the audio is fine, just let me know. Just somebody just type for me, because when you're doing a broadcast, right, you can only speak. You can't really hear yourself. So you don't even know if it's coming across choppy or if it's clear or if it's a clean broadcast, unless some of you comment. So I see a lot of people jumping on. I see you coming onto the broadcast, but I want you to type if the audio is good so that I can continue. And I want to say good evening or good morning or good afternoon wherever you're watching from. Again, my name is Shay Hopewell, and I'm glad to be available and open to discuss this matter. So can somebody give me feedback? Is the audio good? Can you hear me okay? Somebody say yes or no, maybe. Move to the left, move to the right. All right, come on, y'all. Okay, so audio is good, fine. So thank you. So again, welcome. So I saw a broadcast today, and it was on a friend of mine's page, and he was like, you should never take marital advice from single people. Never take marital advice from unmarried people. They don't know what they're talking about. And I know this person, he's basically he's not trying to rub it in the face of people that are married and divorced, or that were married and widowed, or they're older. He's just basically saying that singles, maybe you're in your 20s and you want to give somebody who's married unsolicited advice about marriage, that those people should just go sit down somewhere, and it's a very dicey subject, because I'm not one to say that if you're single it means you have no wisdom, or if you're widowed you have no wisdom, or if you're divorced you have no wisdom. I'm not in the boat of the people that would say, oh, because you're divorced it means you have no ethos to speak, like you cannot give me advice because you're divorced. Anyone that thinks like that has a very, very small mind, has a very small mind. They have a small mindset. They have a myopic mind. But, you know, we have to be open to people. But my first question when I saw that topic or that statement about single people should not give advice to married people, I thought to myself, first of all, who are these married people going to a young single person? If you're 30 and you're 40 and you're single, never been married, I would never discount that you have nothing to say about marriage. I would never say, oh no, this person doesn't know what they're talking about. You're 30, first of all. You weren't born yesterday. You were born 30 years ago, so you should have some kind of wisdom. So I would never say that, oh, if you're single, you can't give advice. No. As long as you were born 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, you have some wisdom to give somebody. Now, the kind of advice that you're given, the quality of advice that you're given is what should be debated. What is being debated is if they're single, they shouldn't give advice. No, the quality of advice that's being given is what should be debated. Hi everyone, thank you, thanks, hi Julia. Everyone that's watching, I thank you for jumping on. Please, let's talk about this. If you've seen a post like this, you know, please let's talk about it. Have you seen anybody telling you that, oh, because you're single, you can't give any advice? It's a wrong mindset. It had rubbed me up the wrong way a few years ago when I first saw the comment, but now people are kind of like making adjustments to their post because they know, okay, Shea Hopewell is not single. She's not married. She's a divorcee. So if Shea Hopewell is giving you advice, it would do you a world of good to take it. Number one, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I'm just basically saying you have to look at the level of the person you're speaking with. You have to look at their experience. You have to look at what motive are they using to advise me or to counsel me. Where have they been? Are they speaking from a place of bitterness? Are they speaking from a place of hurt? Are they speaking from a place of wisdom? Are they speaking from a place of experience? That's how you judge the quality of advice that someone's given and if they are worth taking advice from. Does that make sense? So we have a lot of issues going on out here. We have issues of married people faking it till they make it. We have issues of married people who are very aware that their spouses are cheating, but they're there because of the children. We have people who are married and they're in abusive marriages and they're staying there because they want to be Mrs. Somebody. We have issues of people who are married illegally, who are married for papers. We have issues of people who are married and they have absolutely no business being married. How do we deal with these issues? You have to take advice from somebody. Maybe you're married and you're having issues with your spouse cheating. Who do you go to for such counsel or advice? Who do you go to for emotional support? Who do you go to for wisdom on how to deal with the situation so you don't lose your mind? Talk to me, y'all. Talk to me. Do you go to the internet? Do you go to Facebook Live pastors? Do you go to your pastor in church? Do you go to a marital counselor? Do you actually pay for marital counseling? Or do you just, you know, keep it going? You know, keep taking the ticking, keep taking the licking, you know, as the clock is ticking. And then one day you find yourself, you're 50, 60, you're miserable, and you don't know what to do with yourself. And that's why some people end up killing themselves. And that's what we're trying to avoid. We want to avoid situations like this where people in our society are killing themselves because they have no outlets. They're killing themselves because they have no one to turn to. They're killing themselves because they're not finding the right kind of advice and they're seeking advice in the wrong places. They're killing themselves because they just don't have the brain to find help where help is duly available. Does that make sense? So the question again should not be, are you taking advice from a single person? The question should be the quality of advice that you're getting. Who are you getting this advice from? And in our regular lives, are we seeing people often that need advice and need counsel and need wisdom about marriage and they're not getting it? We have pastors nowadays, pastors, men of God, women of God, who are going through hell in their marriages. And they can't reach out to somebody, number one, for the fear of being publicly scrutinized, for the fear of their names being mentioned publicly and their business being out there. They are having issues with the fact that their spouses will take them to court and drag them through the mud. So who do such people seek advice from and counsel and wisdom from in order to lead the people that they're supposed to be leading? Poor members of the church and congregation have no idea what's going on in the man of God's life or the woman of God's life. You go to him or her for your problems, not even knowing that they themselves are facing an internal battle that you and I don't have any clue about. Okay? So it's very important that we get quality help and quality counseling and coaching from the right people. So I'm going to say that it's not about being single, people being single giving advice. It's the quality of advice that you're getting. Number one thing that you want to do if you're finding yourself in a situation where you do need advice, you need to seek advice internally, like basically some soul searching. You have to basically question yourself, question yourself, why is this going on? What have I contributed towards this? How can I make the situation better? Why am I in this situation right now? How do I get out of it? I'm known as a writer. God bless you too. Thank you so much, Yeye, for watching. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate you joining. I appreciate you sharing. Once again, my name is Shied Hopewell. I believe that I am here. I'm called to be a blessing, and I'm an anointed relationship coach. And I believe that. And I'm finally getting to the point where I am comfortable speaking about marriage. For a while, I have shied away from it. Why? Because I always felt that people would look down on me because I was sharing too much truth about what happened in my marriage. Or people would not be able to handle it and people will scrutinize. But you know what? Screw the scrutiny. Screw the scrutiny. It's most important. And I found the strength to do this because I was watching Gabrielle Union. She's a friend of a friend, and I was watching her story. I read her Instagram post, and she started this Me Too movement. Okay, and this Me Too movement was because at the age of 19, Gabrielle Union was raped in a Payless shoe store while she was working. And, everybody wanted to cover it up, but Gabrielle spoke out about it. She started to, advocate for people who were at work and, assaulted at work, and young people who didn't know how to reach out to anybody, people would not believe them, because she said, I don't want other people to say me too. This happened to me too. You get what I'm saying? So for me, I'm able to speak about marriage, and I'm able to counsel people and advise people and coach people about marriage, not because I'm an expert in marriage. You're only an expert in something when you're a professor and you're a doctor, PhD holder in something. Do you know what I'm saying? Hi, Debbie. Welcome. Thanks, Julia. I see your comment. So I wanted to do this Me Too movement where I don't believe that anyone should ever go through what I went through. Divorce is something that I don't wish on anyone. I don't wish on my worst enemy. And it's not because it's such a dreaded word. I don't join the conversation of people who have, oh, God hates divorce and this. I don't join those conversations because nobody knows what divorce is except those who've been through it. Nobody has ethos to speak about divorce, whether you should divorce or not divorce, unless you've been through it. So nobody should sit here and tell me, oh, God hates divorce. How do you know God? What do you know about God? How do you know that God hates divorce? Did he tell you that? Did he show up in a dream and give you some kind of scripture and tell you that I hate divorce? Do you know that God changes his mind? Do you know that God that gave the commandments to Moses, when Jesus came, it was speaking in a slightly different tone? What do you know about God? What you need in your marriage or in a relationship that's going nowhere is to do some soul searching. How did I get here? What can I do to get out of this hole? Who can I lean on for help? That's why David said, all of my help comes from the Lord. Because he realized that the help couldn't come from his family members. His son was trying to kill him. Help couldn't come from his friend because his friend's dad was trying to kill him. So it's not about which friend or which counselor should I go to, but help comes from the Lord. How do I seek help from the Lord? By talking to the Lord about your situation and asking him to direct you to the help that you need. Because God's not going to come down from heaven and help you. He's going to direct you to the help that you need. So don't join the conversation with people who are having biblical and theoretical analogies about divorce and marriage. No. And who do you take advice from? You take advice from somebody who's walked that shoe, who's gone down that path. You take advice from somebody who's not speaking from a place of bitterness or loneliness or anxiety or depression. You speak to somebody who's been through it, who's overcome, who's dealing, who's coping, who's making amends to be a better person. Because you go through divorce not because you're a bad person, but there's some things that in your life that you need to correct. There's some things in the life of your spouse that needs correction. That's why people go through divorce. If divorce occurred because of violence, something's going on in that situation. If divorce is going on because of adultery, something's going on that needs to be addressed. If divorce happened or occurred because of family issues and external factors, there's an issue that needs to be addressed. If divorce is occurring because of, situational factors, financial factors, there's a situation that needs to be addressed. Yes, okay, Olakumbi has posted the scripture, Malachi 2:16. God says he hates divorce, but doesn't God also say that he hates adultery? Doesn't God also mention that he hates violence? You want to pull up scriptures? Pull up scripture. Pull up the scripture and post it. God definitely hates violence. So if I'm getting divorced or somebody's getting divorced because their spouse is beating them up, or their spouse is raping them, or the spouse has married a child instead of an adult, or illegal marriages, and you get divorced, you're going to quote to that person, God hates divorce? They're going to hate you. We need to know the mind of God about our specific situations and ask God, how do I deal with this? Sometimes divorce occurs prematurely. I say it all the time to people that I counsel. Sometimes you need to sit back and relax, and by the time you look at 10 years later down the line, you're like, was this really divorce worthy? Some people that are getting divorced, it's not divorce worthy. It's just because of the moment, selfishness, self-centeredness, immaturity, lack of spirituality, lack of godliness, lack of the Spirit of God, lack of right counseling, so many lacks. So many lacks. Somebody's tagging me in the video. Do you want to join the video? Let's see. So I beg you that please do your best to stay away from conversations about God hates divorce, God doesn't hate divorce. The Bible was written in the ADs, in the BCs before Christ. And then now we're in the ADs and you still want to hold on to, oh, God hates divorce. What does God say about your particular life? Divorce is a sin, just like adultery is a sin, just like lying is a sin, just like fornication is a sin, just like violence is a sin, just like murder is a sin, just like stealing is a sin, just like gossiping is a sin. All of that, they are sins, but y'all want to hold on to God hates divorce. Tell me something else you know in the Bible. Do you know that the Bible also talks about Jesus saying that not everybody is meant to marry? That not everybody has the grace for it? Matthew chapter 19. So if we're going to talk about stuff, let's talk about the real stuff. People are going through situations that are like demanding their lives. People are depressed because of horrible situations going on at home. And the reason why they stay depressed or keep going through the motions is because nobody is getting the right kind of help. Talk to me, y'all. Please post your comments and ask your questions. We need to start getting the right kind of help. Social media is not where you're going to get your help. A Facebook TV presenter is not where you're necessarily going to get that full-time help, because I will come out here, do my 1 hour, go scrub my face off of the makeup, go to sleep. But your problem continues. The situation continues. We need help. We need to find a solution, hand-in-hand kind of solution. Put your hand in mine, get you the help, and get you healed. Because just like somebody who's sick, who's schizophrenic, autistic, they need help. So is somebody who's in a bad marriage. They need help. maybe counseling, a doctor's medical advice. You need help. So I'm tired of my brothers and sisters killing each other, especially in marriage. Marriage is not a do or die affair. It's not everybody that should be married. Not necessarily everybody needs to be married. But in the situation that you happen to find yourself, make sure that you are the best of yourself in that situation. Whether you're single or whether you're married, be the best in that situation. Be the best employee, be the best sister, be the best friend, be the best employer, be the best motivational speaker, be the best wife, be the best husband. The reason why people are having marital problems is because they're not being the best. So if I have a wife complaining or I have a husband complaining, they're not being their best. A husband will complain about his wife not doing X, Y, Z. I look through Facebook and I'll see a picture of the husband with another woman who's not even the wife. And you have the ethos to complain about your wife, not doing this and not cooking dinner and being disrespectful. But meanwhile, you want to point fingers. But if we look deep at your life, you're also making mistakes and you're not being the best. So this whole back and forth about single people should not give advice to married people. I know some of the smartest people I know are single people. Some of the wisest people I know have never been married before. So you're going to discount them because they don't have a ring on their finger? That's myopic. Now, if I see a single person on Facebook Live, like I'm doing right now, and the person is hollering and hooping and saying, you need to go home, girl. You need to go home and tell that MF that he needs to back up off of you, and he needs to tell his mother to shut up, and you need to tell that man he needs to give you some money and make you get your hair done and make you look good, and you need to tell that mofo. If I see a single person preaching like that on Facebook Live or telling young people this is what you need to do in your marriage, and I know you definitely don't need to be listening to this person. That's not somebody you take advice from. That's not somebody you should even watch, because that attitude and that advice is going to translate into your marriage, and you're going to start whooping and shaking your head in your marriage, and your husband's like, where's all this coming from? Not knowing that you were watching some retard on Facebook. Yes, I said it, retard. So let's be careful. The quality of advice and the quality friendships, the quality counseling that we're getting. If you're not getting good enough counseling, go pay for some counseling. But some of y'all don't want to pay for counseling. You want to sit on Facebook and social media all day long and keep scrolling and think your answer's going to come from scrolling. Go see a therapist. See a marriage counselor. If the guy is abusive, you need to check that dude in. He needs to be checked in. She needs to be checked in some domestic violence center. Let's be real, guys. Otherwise, the problem will continue. Social media, I was looking at something on the internet yesterday, and it said 1 in 3 marriages will fail. 1 in 3. So every 3 people that are sitting, one of them, of the 3, their marriages are bound to fail. So how do we stop that? We need to start having real conversations about what's going on. And I don't blame people for saying, I don't ever want to get married. I don't blame people. Why would you want to get married only for you to end up with somebody who's going to beat you, who's going to cheat on you, who's going to kill the child, some people just don't even want any business with marriage. So for those kind of people, I teach them, enjoy your single life. Enjoy this time that you're single. Enjoy it. Do everything that you want to do. Know your purpose. Know what your desire is. Seek to do more. Be your best. Accomplish. Achieve. Go for gold. Do the best. Strive. Attain for the highest height ever. This is your time. Don't sit at home saying, oh, I wish I was married. I wish I was married. Those that are married wish they were divorced. Those that are married wish that they were single right now. So it's time for us to start to be our best. So a lot of the issues are in marriage that people marry for the wrong reasons. People stay married for the wrong reasons. People are not being the best that they can be in their marriages, and they're not getting help. So it's like a combination of failure, and you expect that there will be no failure. That's a recipe for disaster. But y'all want to go to church and pray the problem away. But the problem is not going anywhere, because it's not prayer. It's actual intentional motivated fixing that will get the problem away. It's not going to church. It's not the 21-day fasting and prayer that's going to help you solve the problem. It's going to be like intentional seeking to get help. Intentional, focused, intentional, actions. Because faith without actions is dead, right? So that's what I came here to talk about. Let's be very mindful in this year 2019 about the kind of relationships that we're entering. I want the singles to be very mindful about the people that they're hanging around with. I want the singles to be very careful about those they're accepting proposals from. I want those who have been divorced for a long time to know that they can remarry and it's okay. But you've got to deal with the hurt first. Got to deal with the hurt, deal with the emotional disaster, emotional turmoil, deal with the financial loss, deal with parenting, deal with getting yourself back on your feet, deal with getting your employment back up, getting your finances in order, getting your credit score back up, getting everything in your life on track before entering another marriage. Because the problem that I see right now is that a lot of people get divorced and they jump into another marriage, and the same thing happens because they never dealt with why it happened in the first place. So let's be mindful this year about what we're doing. If you're a single person, you just can't, be single. You just have to have somebody in your life. It's a recipe for disaster. You're telling yourself that I cannot be single. I cannot be by myself. I can't be alone. That's a self-esteem issue. You have to jump from boyfriend to boyfriend to boyfriend, and each boyfriend is leaving you with a scar, with hurt, with pain, with baggages, and you're carrying each baggage into the next relationship and the next relationship, and you expect there to be a change? Come on. Hi, Brother Sells. How you doing, sir? God bless you. Thanks for joining. Pastor Show, I see you. Thank you all for joining. I see you guys joining. You cannot keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect results. It's madness. That's insanity, right? That's absolute insanity. I have a problem with women who can't be by themselves. It's a problem. That's why I love it when I watch people like Ada, single girl doing her thing, got her job going on, got her house. She's got it going on, got her degree. And she's telling people, look, stop trying to hook me up with men. I'm not desperate. They're in my inbox every day. Stop trying to hook me up. Mom, back off. I'm not trying to. Let God bring me my man. Let me find the right person. If I didn't marry Kelechi, and I didn't marry Adam, and I didn't marry Corey, and I didn't marry Brian, it's not because there's something wrong with me. They just don't fit with the plan. They don't fit into the plan. So stop harassing people who are single. Stop bothering them. Stop hounding them that they have to get married. Because when they get married, are you going to be there? Will you be in that marriage with them? No. So let's be mindful of who we're talking to. Ladies who are married and your girlfriend comes to you and she's telling you the problem that she's facing. Don't fake it to her. Oh, my husband and I just went to Dubai last week and it was so much fun and he bought me this 5-carat ring and oh my God, my husband is this and my husband is that. And you know quite all right that your husband's beating you up every night. But you want the other lady to feel bad and think that you have it together and she doesn't. Let's be real with each other this year. When people come to you for advice, be genuine, be sincere, be honest. If you can't give advice, shut it and pass them to somebody who can. A young lady came to me last year for advice, and I knew that this is something that I can't handle because I cannot counsel one person. I need to speak to both parties. And I advised her, you need to speak to Pastor Shala. This is Pastor Shala's area. So if you know that you can't do this, pass that on. Pass that person on to somebody who can handle it. A very close friend of mine was going through a situation last year, very, very bad situation. It had to do with chronic depression. And I said, this is beyond me. I cannot do this. Okay, here's somebody that can handle this situation. Here's somebody that's mentally tough, who's here in this state, who's available, who's my mentor and my friend. I want you to meet him. So if you can't handle a situation, reach out to somebody who's higher authority, higher power, higher potential, higher business mindset, higher spiritual mindset, someone who can really deal with the situation. And stop suffering in silence. You're suffering in silence. Some of you are going to inbox me later when you should have spoken up, fine. But I'm not going to be able to deal with inbox messages after the broadcast. So let's get this thing together. Let's get it together this year. Because you have a high potential and you have the great places that the Lord has destined for you, and you have their plans, but the feelings that you have and the issues that you're facing and the issues that your friends are facing and family members are facing is deterring you from seeing the bigger picture. And that's what happens when people are in bad relationships and bad marriages. It causes you to focus only on that issue and you forget everything outside. So this year, I need you to start to look outside of the issue and find help and get solution so that you can actually attain all that God has in store for you. Julia says, betrayal is everywhere. Friends are not real. Do you know that I don't particularly, and I'm gonna be careful about my words, I'm not someone who depends and relies heavily. I'm gonna choose my words carefully. I don't rely heavily on friends. You won't see me around a whole circle of people. I'm content being alone. I'm content being in my room all day. I'm content being by myself. But people want to depend on friends so much, and that's why you find that friends fail you. And the Bible does say that the arm of flesh is designed to fail you. So betrayal everywhere, it's people who are looking to be betrayed, get betrayed. People who are looking for friendship, who are looking for love, who are looking for relationship. Whatever you're looking for will find you. I'm speaking from experience. Whatever you're looking for will find you. But the Bible says that if I will seek God first and his kingdom, everything else that I'm looking for, genuine things will follow me. So I've changed my mindset over the past few years, not to look for people, not to chase after people and find friendships and, find love or romance, because most of the time it fails. Unless God builds a house, they labor in vain that build it. Don't depend on friends. Don't depend on people. People will fail you. I remember when I was moving to Houston, I remember seeking out some people who were really, huge in the business, in the industry, the entertainment industry. And I was looking for help. I'm like, I'm moving to Houston and this and that, and I need you to help me out here, blah, blah, blah. And I inboxed the people and, thought that they were genuine and good. And when I got to Houston, they nowhere to be found. Wouldn't pick up the calls. They were just acting kind of flaky. I still talk to them to this day. But I will never forget that they never extended the hand that I was expecting them to extend. I remember being in Nigeria, another very big person in the industry. I reached out to her and I took her out to lunch and she ate my food and, I paid for the lunch and everything and thought that she would help out. But till this day, I still talk to her, I still inbox her, I still chat with her on Instagram, but never extended the hand that I thought that she would reach out. And someone like Yvonne Orgy from Insecure, I was looking through Facebook the other day and I see a post from Yvonne emailing me, texting me, saying, hey, there's somebody who wants to a wedding MC. They're looking for a master of ceremony. I thought about you. Are you available? She reached out to me. I wasn't soliciting help. So when you are looking for people to help you and you're looking for this and you're looking for that, most times you will meet with failure because the arm of flesh is designed to fail. But only God sends in the right, he directs the light to you. When you're in trouble and you seek God, he will direct light to your path. When you're in trouble, when you need help, when you're looking for employment, when you're looking for answers, God will direct light to you. Why? Because you didn't go out seeking for the help. You sought help from God. And God is like, I hear your prayer. I hear you. I see what you're doing. I see the great things that you're doing. I see that you're faithful. I see that you're paying your tithes. I see that you're kind. I see that you're good. I see that you don't mean bad for people. You don't have a mean bone in your body. I'm going to help you. But when you take it upon yourself to go looking for help, oh, auntie, please, can you do this? Oh, uncle, please, can you do this? Oh, my friend, can you do this? Oh, I need my child to get into this school. Oh, I need my son to get into this school. Oh, my husband is looking for a job. Oh, please, auntie, help me. My wife is looking for a job. Oh, this. All that running around helter-skelter is causing you to take your focus away from God, who actually knows everything about you. So I implore those of you that are having marital challenges, I implore those of you that are having relationship, challenges to please just, seek help in the right corners. In the, the Bible says that in a multitude of counselors, you're safe. Seek help from the right kind of people. I remember years ago, I was writing a script for Why Must I Marry the Sister? Not brother. I'd written brother and I had published Why Must I Marry This Brother? But I was writing the script for Why Must I Marry This Sister? And somebody read my script. I gave it to the person. Hey, just read the script. You talked about this issue you're facing in your relationship. Read the script. Let me know what you think. And after he read my script, just a Word document about, sister qualities and women qualities, the kind of women to marry, the kind of women to stay away from, he was like, whoa. I'm in a wrong relationship, totally wrong relationship. And I said, why? Tell me why, explain why. And he began to tell me what he was feeling, what he was sensing, what the Lord had shown him, what he was, what he had seen in the last year or two of dating. And immediately it was like the pieces were coming together. And I said, this is a relationship that you don't need to get into right now. You either postpone this marriage or you cancel it outright. Homeboy canceled the wedding outright. It's been 6 years now, 7 years now. He's wonderfully married now to the bone of his bone, and he's got children. So I implore you to please seek counseling and coaching from the right sources. Some people who are divorced will give you marital advice that will make you hate marriage. Some people that are currently single, who've been married before, will give you very, very, very horrible stories that will make you not want to even talk to the guy that you're talking to right now. And some will give you stories that will make you kind of, make your mind up. I never told that man what to do. I just gave him a book. Here, read my story. Read this book I'm writing about sisters, the kind of women to marry. Same thing with the book for Why Must I Marry This Brother? I gave a young girl who was in a relationship dating some useless boy, just some boy who just wanted to just get into her pants. I'm like, read this book. She read the book. She was like, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm like, what? She said, I don't know. I'm confused. I'm like, go, just go. Tell God to reveal more to you. She had a dream later, saw me in the dream, and I was telling her, this man is not your husband. There's no husband for you here. Girl comes back to me. She told me the dream. I said, yeah, you still need confirmation. Fine. But I'm never going to tell you, leave your husband or stay. We are going to figure it out together through what you're discovering. And she came back to me and said, I said, God's going to confirm it. You had a dream. I was at your door. I was outside your door. You were trying to come in. And I'm telling you, there's no husband for you here. You're like, no, my husband is in there, sis. My husband is in there. I'm like, there's no husband here for you in the dream. And so she left. And then, of course, when she had the confirmation, the guy told her physically, I don't like you. It's your family I like. I enjoy coming here, eating your mother's food. Your mother's a good cook. I don't have family here. Your family is my family, but it's not you I like. The guy said it to her physically. What are you going through? Why don't you be like that girl and go to God? Like I said, go to God. Ask God to show you. Ask God to confirm it to you. Are you looking for direction? Go into a fast and say, God, I'm looking for direction. Are you looking for answers to something? God, I'm looking for answers to this particular thing. If you will show me, if you will just open my mind, if you will just clear my mind. Ruth says, if you don't marry someone, husband, you don't need it. If you don't marry, I don't know what that means. Okay. So anyway, so basically, there are answers for everything that you want to do. It just depends on where you're looking. Where are you looking? There are a lot of single women now, and be careful about this as well. A lot of single women who've been single for a while, they've been single moms for a while, and there are older men who want to date these women, but you don't understand the struggle. You don't understand what these women have been through. You just want to just be with somebody because your wife died a few years ago, and you want to be with somebody, but you don't understand what this woman needs from you. And you have to understand what somebody needs from you so that you can meet that need and they can meet your need. And until you start meeting each other's needs, you're really not doing each other any good. There's no good deed unless you're meeting my need. Does that make sense? So if you're married and you're wondering why you're having trouble, think to yourself, am I meeting his need? Am I meeting her need? Because unless you're meeting my needs, unless you're meeting his needs, you're not doing each other any good deed. So what's the point? If you're not doing each other any good deed, what's the point? Am I married just because I want to do his and hers and we're going to wear anko, we're going to wear the same clothes to a party and go do, oh, Mr. or Mrs.? Or am I married because there are needs in my life that need to be met? And somebody is there to meet that need. And I likewise, I'm supposed to meet his need as well. That's why you're a key in a lock. You fit. And if your marriage is not looking like that, y'all need to start working on it so that you can be that key in that person's lock. So I'm not going to talk about everything today on this show because marriage is a very complex thing. Some people think I'm weird because I've turned down a lot of proposals. It's not that I'm weird. Once bitten, twice shy. So you can't blame somebody if you're trying to talk to somebody and they're giving you resistance. Once bitten, twice shy. You don't rush into anything. There's no rush. Somebody say, ain't no rush. There's no rush. You're 20, 30, and you're like, oh, I'm out of time. You're not out of time. There's no rush. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Get to know yourself. Enjoy the single life. Enjoy the process. Enjoy getting to know God more. Enjoy communication with God. Enjoy seeking and finding him. Find pleasure in the things that you like to do. Find pleasure in the things that you want to be. Follow your heart. Do what you want to do. Travel. Enjoy serving God. Why must you be married? Matthew chapter 19. If you read it in other versions, it will blow your mind. It will literally blow your mind. And I'm going to wrap up with that scripture. Matthew chapter 19. And Jesus was talking to them. Verse 7. Matthew 19, verse 7. Then why did Moses say a man... Hi, Jimmy. Then why did Moses say in Matthew chapter 19, verse 7, then why did Moses say a man could merely write an official letter of divorce and send her away? They asked. In verse 8, Jesus replied, Moses permitted divorce as a concession to your hard-hearted wickedness. But it was not what God had originally intended. What is God intending for you and I? You need to know what God's intention is. And if somebody is saying God hates divorce, then choose wisely not to marry the one that you're going to end up divorced with. If God hates divorce and you know that the life of a single mother or a single father is hard, then choose wisely not to go into it, without good information. Choose wisely not to do it like just because everybody is forcing you to get married. Verse 8, Jesus replied, Moses permitted divorce, And I tell you this, a man who divorces his wife and marries another commits adultery unless his wife has been unfaithful. Some people are going to argue about that. Like, what does Jesus mean that if I'm a man that divorces his wife and marries another commits adultery? Does it mean that every guy that ever got divorced and remarried is sinning because he's committing adultery? Well, we ain't talking about that in this video. Okay, we're going to move on. Verse 10, Matthew chapter 19, verse 10. Jesus' disciples then said to him, then it is better not to get married. It is better not to marry. Pull up your chapter 19 of Matthew. Matthew chapter 19, verse 10. Jesus' disciples then said to him, then it is better not to marry. Verse 11, Jesus said this quite categorically. He said, not everybody's going to accept that statement. Not everybody's going to like to hear that. Some single women are going to fight you because you said that not everybody should get married. Some single men are going to be like, what you mean, bro? Like, what do you mean nobody's supposed to get? I'm trying to get married. Jesus' disciples said to him, then it is better not to marry. Verse 11, not everyone can accept this statement, Jesus said. Only those whom God helps. Only those who God helps. So if Jesus is saying that only those that God helps can accept a statement about marriage, then he's also saying that it's only those that God helps that can have good marriages. It's only those that, mic drop, it's only those that God helps that can have good marriages. So if I've had a failed marriage, God wasn't in that marriage. He wasn't there helping you. So now your prayer should be, God, I need you to help me, because your word says that only those that God helps can accept this statement. I need you to start asking God for help this year to be that person that will not end up in a divorce because of infidelity, because of adultery, because of external factors, because of wrong advice, because of family pressure, because of barrenness, because of immorality, because of adultery. You need to start asking God this year that as we're talking about marriage and divorce, that I will not be on the list of those who got divorced. I'm sorry for everyone who's ever hurt and who's ever been through the hurt of divorce, because it's a horrible pain. It's a horrible thing to go through. You don't know the half of it. You don't know the court cases. You don't know the child custody battles. You don't know the divorce lawyer fees. You don't know about the issues in court. You don't know about family talking about you. You don't know about the friends who will talk behind your back. You don't know about having to change schools for your children. You don't know about having to move out of state. You don't know about having to leave the church that you love because people are talking about you. You don't know about having to change your identity. You don't know about how your credit got ruined. You don't know none of these things because you haven't been through it. So if you don't want to end up in that shoe of divorce and going through all those things I just mentioned, you need to start taking things very seriously in your marriage, because divorce is not a joke. Don't let the fear hold you down and captive either. I just need you to get the right help. Hi, Forts, and hi, Namdi. Welcome. Good morning. Good evening. Wherever you are, Happy New Year to you too. I don't want people to get divorced. I've been through it. It is pain. It's taken me 6, 7, 8 years to even get over the pain. You can't have a conversation with me for 2 hours, and when I think about the pain of divorce, I'll probably still shed a tear or two, because I know how far it set me back. So I don't want people to go through that. So when people talk about, oh, single people shouldn't talk about marriage because they have nothing to say, because they don't have no experience, who are you kidding? I have a PhD in the experience of marriage and the experience of what divorce can do. May not have been married for a very long time, but I can tell you how to not end up the way I did, or end up in the situation where I could have been killed. So let's not sugarcoat nothing. I ain't sugarcoating nothing. I'm telling you how it is, plain and simple. Get some help. If you're a man that's having issues, being faithful, you need to get help before your wife walks out on you. If you're a man that has financial trouble because you can't spend right, you're spending lavishly, get some financial help. Watch Dave Ramsey on YouTube. If you're a woman who's disrespectful, you're a woman who doesn't know how to cook, get on YouTube and watch cooking channels. If you don't know what you want to do with your life, talk to Iyanla to fix your life. I don't know, do something, but stay away from something that will hurt you on the long term. Fix it. It's still available for fixing. There's nothing you're going through in life that cannot be fixed. And if you're divorced, let me tell you something. If there's something I can teach you and counsel you through, it's the fact that this too shall pass. It's the fact that if you're going through a divorce right now, all you need to do is surround yourself with strong, supportive, loving people. Because anything besides that will break you. So you're going through a divorce right now, Gifty. Trust me, I've been through it. Thank God I don't look like what I've been through. And you will make it through as well. All you need to do is surround yourself with the right people. Keep pushing. There are days that will be hard and tough. You won't even want to get out of bed. You won't want to do anything. You won't want to go to church. You won't even have the mouth to pray. But you need those good people around you. Good, supportive people. You need a whole lot of Christian music. You need to do something that makes you happy. Something that keeps you going. Don't be down and depressed because of the court cases. If there's anybody that knows about court cases and what it will do to your esteem, it's me. Don't ever. Just keep taking it with a grain of salt and take one day at a time. Just keep saying to yourself, Gifty, it's one day at a time. It's one day at a time. I'm going to take it one day at a time. I'm going to take it one day. And the song, I play the song all the time on my broadcast. You probably wonder why I play it all the time. But it's because it really, really, really helped. Find something that helps you. And the song goes, you are my strength, strength like no other, strength like no other, reaches to me in the fullness of your grace, in the power of your name. You lift me up, you lift me up. Find songs that lift your spirit up. Because all the devil wants to do is keep your spirit down, keep you compressed, keep you suppressed, keep you bound. But who the Son of Man has set free is free indeed. So if you've been divorced, you are set free, and you are free indeed. If you need to find help through counseling, marital counseling, get in a support group. The reason why Oyinbo people do very well is because when they're going through issues, they find help, counseling. If they're drug addicts, they go to AA or AAA meeting. If they're having issues with, like schizophrenia, they go to find help with that, in that department. If they have, the one where they forget stuff? Alzheimer's. They check them into in a home where they take care of Alzheimer patients. But Nigerians, Africans in general, they have some kind of help. Issues, violence, financial. You just go to church and you believe that all the problems will be solved in church. Some of the people need to be checked into one of those places. And find support groups. There are lots of support groups. But the problem with our African people, they don't want to pay. You don't have family who say, okay, this girl is going through mental issues. We need to check her into somewhere. Let's check her into a facility where they deal with mental people that have had issues after divorce. Let's all put money together and pay for her to go there. Let's take her to pastors. I know one pastor in Africa. That pastor will take her to the mountain and all our problems will go away. You think mountain will take away your problem? Anyway, so hi Sophie from London. They get their people the help that they need and their solution. They find solution. But you will tell an African person to pay for counseling, for marital counseling. They'll be like, I can't afford it. Sister, I can't afford it. You can't afford it, but you're in the problem. And the problem is there. And it doesn't leave because you don't want to treat it. Dementia patients, yeah. People who have Alzheimer's, they go to the home. People who are sick, who are over 50, and their children can't afford to take care of them. They check them into a home. You will say, no, one Baba. I know one Baba he left South Africa. He's now in Morocco. Let me get his number. That Baba will help you. If he prays for you for 7 days, that problem will leave you alive. That's not the solution. If you can't find God in your heart, for yourself, by yourself, on your own, no Baba, no man from nowhere under no rock can help you. So y'all, that's it. That's all I have for today. I'm all talked out. Anybody have any questions before I roll out? It took a while to be able to get this all set up. I want to thank those who, blessed me for my birthday. This necklace right here is from my birthday. Somebody gave this to me for my birthday. Anu, thank you for the beautiful neck piece. My lights was a gift also, an Amazon gift card from somebody who appreciated everything that I've been doing on Facebook. I want to thank somebody that actually gave me a gift card as well. I bought my stand. I finally bought my stand. So I'm able to do quality videos and be able to help as many people that I possibly can without being, afraid of lighting or my phone falling. For those of you that have been following me since 2016, when I started doing my broadcast about marriage, you guys would see that my phone would fall down and I would lose connection and the lighting would be so poor. Look at us now. Look at us now. Look at how far we've come, y'all. But it's because people who appreciate what I do here on Facebook, decided to support. So I thank you for your support. For those of you who've supported me through midnight prayer, I see you all. You guys have been very awesome and you've helped me stay, grounded in my gifts and my talents. And I'm just here to appreciate you and give back. To whom much is given, much is really expected. To whom much is given, much is expected. Someone saw me the other day during a broadcast, and my earpiece was broken from my thing, and they sent me this. So I got this updated earpiece. Comes in a nice fancy case. I want to thank that person as well. Comes with a nice fancy case. So I'm really grateful. My birthday started off the year started off really, really great. And it's because of people like you who appreciate what I do and support what I do. And I want to thank you for the support. Keep it coming, because I'll keep coming out here and saying whatever the Lord laid upon my heart to say. Today it's about marriage. Next week it could be something else. But so far, I know that I am called to help those who are having marital issues or relationship issues to get out of it, deal with it, sort themselves out, get themselves back on their feet. Either it's, getting you employment, or helping you find education, or finding a shelter, finding a divorce lawyer, finding a solution to your case. Whichever way it is, you will find help and you will make it and get through it, because I did. You can make it as well. Once again, my name is Shied Hopewell. I'm blessed to be a blessing. I thank you for watching. Please share the broadcast if you enjoyed this particular segment, and I will see you again next week. If there are no questions, I'm leaving. Any questions I can answer before I leave? If not, please inbox me and I would gladly treat your topic. Do be aware that if you're inboxing me, your cases are confidential. I will never mention your name. If you want it to be in the book, then please just state, and I will not put your name there. If you want your name to be put, I will put it there. If you have a testimony and you don't want your name to show, let me know that it's private, it's confidential. If you are absolutely dying for secrecy, you don't want anybody to know anything, please put it there as well. And I will treat the subjects with the utmost confidence and the utmost professionalism as much as possible. And of course, I'm looking out for you. Somebody looked out for me, and I'm going to look out for you as well. Wura says, you're a blessing to me. Thank you. I'm glad to be a blessing to you. Thank you so much for watching. I see you guys sharing. I see the likes and the hearts. Thank you so much. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you, Sophie. Thank you all. I see you guys joining. Thank you so much, Fortson. Yeah, it was a nice show. If you enjoyed the show, please just type it there. If you enjoyed it, if it made sense, just say something. I see you all. Lady Tamara, I see you. Thank you for joining. James, Namdi again, Jimmy, Bemisola, Gifty, Lasego, all of you that joined and didn't say anything, I see you. Thank you so much for the hearts. I appreciate it. Good night. Bye-bye. Have a blessed week.